I don't know what happened with that, but
Oh, how sweet it is. It is RAWBall Monday. After a frantic and frenetic last 4 days in the world of sports and pro wrestling. But don't you worry, don't you fret, because we are here to break it all down for you. We are going to somehow get through the NFL draft, epic hockey collapses, what's going on in the MLB, preview our Backlash stream this coming weekend, and also going to get a little bit of a take on the horsies. The horsies are running this weekend. It is the Kentucky Derby. It is one of the captain's favorite days in sports. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? I'm the captain, joined by the one and one of ones, Maddie and Devin. Hey, he slid in. There he is.
And we will also be joined later by Suge. Maybe just some connection issues on his side. But yes, we are here. RAWBall week 11. We made it damn near 3 months.
Yes, sir.
Who'd have ever thunk it?
Well, we did, but
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, we knew. I mean, who knew, but the others who didn't know, they didn't know.
We got
The California Cuddler.
Baby OG, our friend and yours. It's Suge from the second term.
Hey, everybody. How are y'all?
Doing
Welcome
good,
back.
We
brother. How you
are
doing?
alive and kicking.
I'm so glad to finally be on.
Yeah, but this is you've been on for live streams and pay-per-views, but I believe this is your debut on the podcast itself.
It is, and I'm excited to be here. We've been trying to make this work for ages.
Well,
That's
hey,
my ex-wife and I once said, but you know.
we are just glad to finally get it to work out, and we are so glad to have Suge of the Second Turnbuckle Podcast join us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And we got
sure,
a
I
lot
know
to
it's been
talk about.
been a rough couple of weeks, man, but we all been on hands and knees. Glad things are working out.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the big thing. Reactions on the NFL draft. It was a crazy, like the Eagles, one of those crazy nights.
Let's just throw up
Thursday.
the draft order from night one. Night one was insane.
For it to be any crazier, you would have had to have been handing out bottles of Prozac to the NFL GMs.
But I will say, by the end of the weekend, this draft was historic in many ways. It had the most trades on draft day with 43.
That's crazy.
So, Suge, what football team do you follow? I think we talked about this a little bit during the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, we did. So I'm a Steelers fan.
You must be happy with Broderick.
I'm pretty pleased. This is kind of my last year of fandom because I'm heavily leaning towards one of the home teams, probably the Rams.
You can't leave Steeler Nation.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can. I don't live there.
Lamar will get to your puffy-haired ass in a minute.
That's one of those things where it's like I'm a Steelers fan, but I've never been to a game in Pittsburgh. I probably won't.
He never been to a Ravens game, period, end.
But I will eventually.
Yeah, when the Ravens visit Mile High.
Right.
But hey, as a
I want
Steelers
to go to
fan-
a home game though. Home games are different.
Oh yeah. But as you know, we had Greg Cherry on earlier for that show as well. He's a Steelers fan. I messaged him a very strongly worded message because I told him to have a good draft after he left. I didn't tell him to go draft Joey Porter and Darnell Washington.
The Steelers draft turned out pretty damn good, I have to say.
They addressed everything they really needed to address in the draft.
Philadelphia pretty much became the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Yeah. Well, as I think it was, as Tree said, the devil went down to Georgia and he got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Houston made some moves early on. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, that deal got finished last week, and
the Jets did pretty decent with their draft, but yeah,
poor Grassi was losing his shit on night 2 when they didn't take the tight end he wanted. I thought the poor bastard was going to collapse.
Well, I mean, when you've got a tight end like Darnell Washington up there, I was so pissed that he made it past the Broncos' first draft pick. So I was heated about that.
Well, you guys moved up into the second round
and drafted a white cornerback. Yes, we did.
Listen, you got to get who's available. We're not playing by Coach Prime's rules.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting with what Denver did with their draft. Devin, you had a pretty decent draft.
I feel confident. Our team did good in our draft.
The best thing you guys did on draft day was sign your fucking quarterback.
Hey, no, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers is a pick, bro.
He's about yay high.
He's about as tall as I am.
There's a lot of short wide receivers that have been flawless and short as shit and fast as fuck.
Yeah, they're called punt returners.
Yeah. Wow. Gonna put them on special teams real quick.
But
I mean, I can't really brag because my Raiders. I mean, the Raiders just kind of. It felt like the Raiders draft felt like a average hand job. It was like, okay,
not an average hand job.
I mean, it was like, okay, it was a hand other than ours on our appendage, and we have something to show for the evening, but are we really proud of it? I'm just like, this team has so many needs that needs to be addressed. I mean, it was just one of those, the Raiders draft was a hand job, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
There was a lot of picks that went that night that I just was left going, okay, like Detroit drafting Jahmyr Gibbs as their first pick.
Yeah, that one still has a lot of people, unless they just see something we don't, because they just signed David Montgomery to that big contract. Unless they just see something in this kid that they think he could be, I don't know, I'm not going to say the next Barry Sanders. Jesus Christ, that would be blasphemy. But they must really see something in the kid to have taken him in the first round, because there were plenty of players. Options. Yeah, plenty of options at that point in the draft. You still had plenty of edge rushers. You still had, some offensive linemen, some points. But I'm still not sure exactly how I feel about this draft, other than
it was absolute chaos on the night.
We didn't get Mayo Man. All of us collective did not receive a Mayo Man.
Mayo Man went to Tennessee.
Ooh.
Suge, did you hear about that? Will Levis puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's a moron.
He's just
or eccentric. I'm not sure which.
This boy went down to Kentucky and he puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
I part of me wants to try it.
Oh, no, Suge, no.
No, Suge, no. Please.
Part of me is like, he might
love
be
you
cooking
too much.
Suge, if you try it, please do let me know. But
please don't.
If I try it, I'll go live.
I said, mayo is Satan's semen. Mayo should never be placed in, on, or near anything that you're going to eat. It's god awful. But the fact that guy puts it in his coffee gives me pause about him. But Peyton Manning, Maddie's boy, since the camera's reversed, Manning said he's the best quarterback in the draft. Exactly what to take from that, I'm not sure, but
Peyton, I trust you with a lot of your scouting and like your film study, but
he can't see past his forehead anymore.
So wait, I'm doing research on this as we speak, because I can't shake the mayo and the coffee thing.
Nobody can. I think that's why he dropped to the.
Hold up, Suge. Is this
what's
a thing?
the point? Yeah, no, I think it's just him. Like I'm trying to figure out if there's anybody else.
It's just complete dipshittery.
Is this a recipe on the Food Network or something?
No, I from what I can find, it was just like it was a Friday before a game, and him and his girlfriend went to go get coffee, and they were like, "We don't have any cream and sugar," and she's like, "Well, why don't you just put mayo in it?" And so she did. And
does nobody love this young man? I mean, has anyone
not enough
grabbed him by the collar and shaken him, and just given him the no speech? Just no, just don't ever.
Yeah, just say no.
I hope Tennessee tells him to just fix himself, or they put him in a psych ward.
No, they put Will Levis into a rehab for fucking mayonnaise.
No, I think this is the exact person.
I mean, I've been to Nashville a couple times. There's a lot of great things in Nashville. You got great spicy chicken. You got some really good barbecue. There's a couple of great, local brew houses. We can fix this young man. We can take him.
You know what? Hold on. I want to play the devil's advocate here because I feel like this is an excellent pick. You are absolutely cooking. If you put a man who puts mayonnaise in his coffee on the field, because he clearly doesn't care about his own life.
This man is Andrew Luck without the care for himself.
Honestly, give him a CTE bucket. He's good to go. He
I mean, Andrew Luck.
He's head down every play.
Andrew Luck graduated very highly towards the top of his class at Stanford. I do not see that man as making those egregious Java sins. There's just
that's the difference. Andrew Luck was from Stanford. Will Levis is from Kentucky. Like Suge said, put the CTE bucket on him. Send him out there.
It just shows the two generations where Andrew Luck's generation made bullying acceptable. Will Levis's generation, there's
nobody bullied that boy. Nobody bullied that boy.
He needed what? Well, you remember what happened? Like this guy tried to join Hell's Angels and was told, "Sorry, you're too depraved." Like if you see a guy putting mayo in his coffee, chances are you're not going to fuck with that guy. It's like it's like getting into a fight with an ugly guy. He's got nothing to lose.
That's who you want on the football field. That's exactly who you want.
He starts putting mayo in the Gatorade, though. I think the other 52 guys on the team are going to mutiny.
No, wait. No. See, I raise you mayo in the Gatorade. He's going to freeze some mayo
ice cubes
and put the mayo ice cubes in the Gatorade.
I didn't eat before the show, and I'm actually pretty glad that I didn't, because if I had, I may not.
Hey, look, buckle up. It's going to be a long show.
Buckle up, Buttercup. I'm getting my TV ready for Boston and Toronto, because that's like our game of the night, because it's Maddie's team. Plus I've got two of their batters and two of Toronto's pitchers.
And Dave's in the chat too. So he's, out there in Canada. But
yeah. Thank God my White Sox are off today. We can't lose.
I will bring up, did y'all see the tight end that looks identical to Karrion Kross get drafted?
Yep.
Hey, listen, I heard about you guys getting your TVs ready. I'm getting ready for the only draft that matters. Night 2 of the WWE draft.
Yeah, big. Hey, we'll get to the WWE draft here in a little bit. There was a couple names I was very happy to see get called out.
I saw what happened for the most part on SmackDown, and this is why I hate the brand split, because you shouldn't. You're basically, my opinion is, if you're not on Raw, nobody gives a shit about you.
Oh, well, that's about to change, because all the big names are on SmackDown right now.
No, I disagree.
See, that's the problem. Raw should be your flagship show, but the problem is they treat SmackDown like their flagship show. They're putting all the good names on the show that nobody's going to watch, and they're putting all the names, apart from Cody and a few others, on Raw.
I wouldn't say they really made SmackDown the flagship show. I think SmackDown has always had the better wrestling of the two shows, in my opinion, since I've been watching.
2016.
I'd say consistently off and on for a while. There was a time where it felt like the B show. That's after John Cena left and took the WWE Championship to Raw. It kind of got B show-ish. But when AJ Styles came in, it's really when SmackDown picked up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens helped a lot too.
Yeah, it was Kevin, it was Sammy, it was AJ. As much as Cap won't like it, it was Mox. Hell, even the
Wyatt,
Miz,
yeah.
even the Miz and Dolph Ziggler
Yeah, I
fucking
just might say
carried a
Ziggler.
fucking year of that promotion.
Or you just
The
do
Miz
what I
cut
say.
The
You
Miz
end
cut
the-
my
you-
favorite. Oh, go ahead.
You end the brand split, you cut the roster in half, and you just have one show every week, Monday nights, 2 hours, TVMA, and you just have your roster of your main guys, and you have
He
like
just got a new belt too. So
you cut the belts in half.
We'll get
You
to
know?
the consolation prize here in a minute too.
Yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
consolation prize.
the Paul Levesque Memorial Championship belt.
Okay, we can actually jump to the belt real quick because I really like the design.
I do too.
I like the design. I don't like the fact that they threw the centerpiece that's in the middle of the fucking IC title in the middle
The
of
brand
the
split.
gold, but
That goddamn logo is a fucking eyesore.
It
I am
really
so
is.
fucking sick of WWE being in the center of every goddamn belt.
We
know
The
it's
brand split
WWE.
never lasts.
no, how long did it really last whenever they did it in 2016, whenever they did SmackDown Live?
a year.
I want to
was
say
around
it
for the
lasted
first-
about 2
I was
years.
around for the first draft split or first brand split in like 02, 03. And
I
even
liked how
then,
they did that one.
That was dope.
I did like how they did that one.
I remember you had to win matches.
and SmackDown end the brand split, one roster, 30, 40 guys, Raw Monday nights.
So
Well, the thing is even if we have even if you split the roster in half, we can still have a Raw and SmackDown just as long as they're continuing stories from Monday.
I think if we reset everything back to how it used to be, back in the
Because
glory
then
days of the
you're
brand split.
overexposing everything. I didn't
Well,
like it when
I-
SmackDown began to begin with, back in '99.
I think there's room. There needs to be room, especially if WWE wants to there's so many spots, and eventually, if you do run that format of just 30, 40 guys, it's gonna get stale and boring. We're gonna get back to that Roman Reigns 1,000-day reign real quick, and
No, David.
some people like it. I hate it. I
swear to God.
Uh-oh.
Don't put it past him at this point. Now that Gomez Adams is back in charge, and I'm still wondering. I need to see the next few months in PLEs to see if Hunter's still really got the book or if it's Gomez Adams.
I think it's 50-50.
I can't believe that we're already a fucking Saturday. Like it's Saturday. Like Saturday's fucking Backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're here.
Yeah, that shit came up quick. Cap, you
April flew.
You have the card up for it, yeah?
I do.
All right,
You want to start at the bottom? All right.
Let's just hop into the Backlash.
Let's hop into our Backlash in Puerto Rico, what we think is going to happen. So, we got Theory versus Reed versus Lashley for the U.S. title. Anything but a Theory win here, I think, is promising.
I don't.
I'm thinking Bobby Lashley is going to win it and take the U.S. title to SmackDown.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then what happens to Theory? I mean,
Theory's going to be Cody's main antagonist for.
Theory can rejoin the way. Theory can get into the IC title picture. Theory isn't dead yet. I just think we were talking about this on the other podcast the other day. I think we just haven't seen Theory booked against a proper opponent. Like you keep putting Theory
in my life. Since I started watching pro wrestling, the modern product again, about 3 years ago, I have never seen booking of young talent so horribly in my life. Guys like Theory, Hobbs, Starks, Wardlow, these guys should already be on top. how in the world they are still buried in this
I
mid-card
agree, David.
hootenanny absolutely blows my mind. You don't bury guys that are that good. You put them on top. You have to shove out the old guys who are in their 40s or who work part-time. Brock, I'm talking to you. You've got to get these guys in there and working. I am so fucking sick of seeing guys on top having spots who do nothing for they advance. They put nobody over. They literally are just there. They're just kind of there. Anywho,
I was just about to say, like a bunch of 38-year-olds at the top of the card for no reason.
And I'm an old guy. I admit it. I'm past my prime. I want to see younger guys coming up.
Right.
With the draft, did that kill the Trish Stratus Becky rivalry?
No, Trish Stratus is apparently available to be drafted.
You fucking kidding me?
Wow. In 2023, no less.
Again, Trish, take your tits and go home. You've had literally. Have you seen the before and after pictures of her face? They have stretched that shit till it's tighter than a gnat's ass over a snare drum. There is literally nothing left to stretch of her fucking face.
How did we come up with that analogy? When have we ever seen a gnat's ass on a snare drum?
Actually, I stole that one from a biography on Elvis Presley. His Memphis Mafia we're talking about after he had his second or third facelift in like 74, 75. And one of his guys like, Elvis, you keep doing that, you're going to stretch that shit till it's like a gnat's ass over a snare drum.
So,
Dave, stop trying to be an oracle right now.
So
now's not the time.
I was about to say, this would have Twitter melting.
Now's not the time, Dave.
Yeah, no, please don't. Anybody but Trish.
I agree
I
with
take
your
the-
Bronson Reed one. That was right. But other than that, right there.
So, second match, Seth Rollins versus Almost.
Oh God. So this is the match that we don't watch.
How did this match even come about?
Seth Rollins got
It's punishment for Seth.
saying he was going to quit after Mania.
Well, it was the Raw after Mania. Seth had a segment. Vince showed up, or pardon me, Gomez Adams showed up and rewrote the entire show and cut Seth Rollins' segment. Seth didn't even know until he got to the ring. And
Facts.
Seth basically said, if this is the kind of shit that's going to keep going down, if Vince is back in, I'm fucking out. And apparently Triple H cooled his heels. But Vince apparently was like, you're going to put Almost over. He's stupendous, pal. You're just Seth Rollins. Fuck
Bianca's doing an open challenge tonight.
She could still win it, but they could always switch the belts because Rhea hasn't been drafted yet.
Well, that's a stupid fucking thing is the Raw girl, the SmackDown girl has the Raw belt, and
they
the
do this
Raw girl
every
has the
fucking
SmackDown
draft
belt.
recently.
Especially with the women's. They always just switch the belts.
The last three drafts, I'm pretty sure Charlotte's been a part of two of them.
Yeah, it was Charlotte and Sasha, I think. I think they were both the corresponding champions.
No, didn't they have wasn't Nia one of them? Or
D's favorite.
I don't.
And there was like an argument. No, that was Becky. My bad.
Yeah,
Becky was one.
That was Becky and Charlotte, and that was the last time.
Okay.
I don't blame you. I don't even want to.
So I want to see Seth Rollins hit the WrestleMania stomp from last time they were in California on Omos.
That match is going to go one of two ways. And whichever way it goes is going to tell you who's booking. If Omos crushes Seth in a few minutes, Vince is booking. If Seth and Omos actually have a legit match and Seth makes him look good, then Trips still has the book. That is the most telling match on this card to me so far.
I have one request for this.
I agree.
Match. I need Seth Rollins to hit the Superplex Falcon Arrow onto Omos.
How?
It's all about leverage.
And in
He's gonna need to go into Cody Rhodes' medicine bag and get one of them perks he was on at Hell in a Cell.
And then a mercy fuck match. We have Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega for the SmackDown Women's
It's
Championship.
just because Zelina is Puerto Rican. That's the only reason she's in this match.
Well, I mean, that makes her one of yours. I mean, you guys are Puerto Rican.
You're not seeing us booked on the show.
We should be.
But technically you don't work there.
Put us against the Colon brothers.
I still think we should see the Colon brothers versus the Bloodline.
That would be dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like Usos come out, shoot a promo, and then get answered by the Clones. That'd be awesome.
Dave does raise a point here. I want to, before we get deeper into this card, I've been thinking about this, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope Dave is wrong here. What if it is a situation where it literally is Gomez Adams and Trips co-booking? Because if so, it's going to be a fucking disaster.
I think it's 50-50. So I think you're going to see some matches go Vince's way and other matches go Triple H's way. I'm leaning towards the Omos match going more Vince's way because Vince wants to teach Seth Rollins a lesson, even though it might only strengthen his resolve to leave.
Despite the fact that Seth is the best worker in professional wrestling right now, let's teach him a lesson.
Fuck right. Let's give him another reason to leave. I know the Zelina Vega match is going to end in that pin, that fold up pin we like to see every time the internet goes crazy for. You know what I'm talking about.
This is probably, and I'm just looking at this card here. This looks like the worst card since Trips supposedly took the book. Like, this card looks like the absolute Ole Andersons, a.k.a. the shits. Because next up is Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest.
Wait, that's a match on the card?
And I will let me say the face-to-face promo picture almost looks like a Pixar film of these two. I don't know what it is, but it's just giving me animated vibes every time I see it.
To Dave's point, whenever Vince retired last July and Brock said he was going home, I wish you would have fucking stayed at home, Brock. Fuck you and fuck Vince. I don't want either one of you around. You do nothing but worsen the business. Sorry if I'm in a little bit of a pissed off mood, but I look at this card and I've been dealing with Vince back for a month now, and it's pissing me off. I had so much hope that maybe we finally got a legit booker. As much as I don't like some of what Triple H does, maybe we got a booker. Nope, we got Gomez Adams.
When a rap star is one of the most anticipated matches, that's kind of an issue.
Yeah, but hey, I mean,
get that bag.
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm. And
I guess this is a match that Priest wanted, is what I've been hearing.
Well, Priest is 41 years old. His career is behind him,
which sucks because he had so much to give, like 10 years ago too. Like his career could have been something had he been in WWE 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and I mean something more, because he did carve out a pretty good name for himself on the Indies as Punishment Martinez.
I mean, I don't have anything against Priest. It's just the fact that, dude, you're 41. You're done. I mean,
this is the retirement money tour, basically.
Yeah.
Want to make as much as you can.
We got Bianca Belair versus Io Sky.
That should be a good match.
Amazing. Do you think Bianca's going to lose here?
No,
not in Puerto Rico.
Vince loves Bianca. She smiles. She twirls her hair. The children love her. Her gimmick grew old on me about 6-8 months ago. At this point, either turn her heel and give me a reason to hate her more, or have Rhea Ripley beat her and unite the belts.
Well, me and Suge were talking about on his podcast. What you should do, turn her and the Profits heel.
Yeah, at the same time. This SmackDown run needs to be it. The heel turn.
I
And
just,
who
I don't know if I
better to
see
turn
him
heel
turning.
against right now than KO and Sami Zayn?
Vince would never turn John Cena heel, even though everybody fucking hated his ass. I don't think he's ever going to turn Bianca heel because she twirls her hair and she smiles.
Well,
And
I mean,
her in-ring work is great. Again, she is becoming to me the female John Cena. Her in-ring work is phenomenal. I never have a problem with her matches. It's the gimmick that pisses me off. I am so sick of these smiling, baby kissing baby faces. Austin got over as a baby face by giving the middle finger to everybody. MJF is a heel. He's my favorite thing going in pro wrestling. Austin Theory is a heel. He's my favorite thing because he's that good. I
get it. But, John Cena did basically give her the keys to the kingdom after that loss to Becky at SummerSlam. He's like, hey, just, brush this off. Smile and wave. You'll be back.
I do agree with David here. The amount of losses Io Shirai has eaten since coming up to the main roster been atrocious for one of the best, not just female wrestlers, just one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
On the roster, absolutely.
So we've got one of the most pointless six-man tag matches in history.
And that's the main event, right? Other than
No. Sammy, KO, and Riddle versus the Usos and Solo. What does this match fucking accomplish?
If the tag team titles aren't on the line, then you might as well just scrap it. I know the Colognes aren't doing nothing. Come on now.
Hey, if we can scrap this and just put another 10 minutes onto the ass whooping that Brock's going to give Cody.
Well,
I want to see Cody get out of that. I want to see the crafty way Cody gets out of that.
Well, I don't know how you're going to get away
this is the second match of the night. This is the second match of the night that tells me who has the book, who literally really has the book. I mentioned Omos and Rollins, Brock and Cody. This is going to be the match that tells me who really has the book. Because if Cody does the job for Brock, Gomez Adams has the book. If Cody goes over, then maybe there's hope. But at this point, I don't know what to think. Saturday's going to answer a lot of questions for smart fans, I guess, wondering just who's really running the show right now. But you cannot have Cody do the job to Brock.
Yeah. It's been happening a lot.
It's like, Are you literally trying to just bury Cody to no end? I mean,
yes.
Like I said, never trust a Rhodes' career in the hands of a McMahon because Vince has had a vendetta against the Rhodes family since the early 80s. And if Trips was in charge, it would be a different story. But if Vince is still rearing his ugly goddamn mustache and Rudy Giuliani dyed hair into this thing, then Cody's not going to have a chance. He literally does not have a chance.
That's true. And that makes you wonder why even go back.
Well, it's like whenever Cody, debuted, he had that great run with Seth and, unfortunately got hurt like he did. And,
apparently couldn't get any worse.
Vince retired and Trips took the book. I was like, okay, once Cody gets back, things will get sorted out. Cody comes back, wins the Rumble, goes to Mania. Wait a second, pal. He's a Rhodes.
And it's crazy. If Cody came back under Vince McMahon before he retired, you would think that maybe he had a plan in place or something.
And let's also not forget, Cody is 36, 37 years old. He's in the twilight. I mean, we're
back.
He doesn't have much time left. And whenever Dusty went to Vince in the early 90s, he was already in his 40s. So is Vince just going to waste what's left of Cody Rhodes' career?
How long do you think he has left?
Oh God, these days with these guys not wrestling very often. I mean, Cody could probably wrestle into his early 40s, but still, I mean, 36. I mean,
a
you
lot of these
should.
guys are retiring at they're setting like hard dates, like okay, 40. I know AJ's like, okay, I don't want to go past what, 45?
Yeah.
I think AJ's on his last contract.
And he said he doesn't want to win any more titles. He just wants to bump up the next generation.
That's sad to me. This is my first real wave of superstars. I'm gonna call them superstars, God. Wrestlers that I've seen retire. It's
Well, you've got Brock who works the Brock schedule. You got Roman who works the Brock schedule. You've got AJ.
So I do want to point out that these guys are dealing with things health wise, so it's understandable why they're on a bit of a modified schedule. I think Brock
what are
had to
Brock
have.
and Roman dealing with? What's Cody dealing with? I mean, what's AJ?
AJ was injured for a while.
AJ broke his ankle.
Yeah,
Brock had
an ACL tear.
No, I think it was the ankle thing because the ACL tear would be a lot longer. I think he's only going to be out for like a 2 month. Is it a year? I thought it was an ankle injury. I thought he. Let me see.
Yeah,
I believe he tweeted it.
Like a damn near year.
When? I'm talking about right now.
This one was in October, and he just came back. SmackDown.
Dave, when is AJ's contract up?
Yeah, so I know that what he's dealing with right now is an ankle injury.
But wasn't his last appearance like late October of last year?
December. Yeah.
December. Okay.
December 19th.
So mid-December. Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple months from December to April.
So
and
I think he's getting ready to come back.
I would be so hopeful if WWE was, sucking the hind teat like they are in terms of doing pro wrestling right. If the other company had a booker who knew what the fuck he was doing, was actually doing things right, then I would have some hope. But Tony Khan can't book his way out of a wet paper bag. Vince still thinks it's, 1997. There is no hope at this point for me. And I'm sad to say this. I'm starting to feel the way I felt several years ago, where there is no hope for professional wrestling as far as companies that actually mean a shit. Companies that have programs on big time networks, pay-per-views, not your Impacts, your Ring of Honors, your whatever. I'm talking like AEW, WWE. Neither fucking company can do a goddamn thing right. Jesus. It's called pro wrestling, not sports entertainment.
I feel it seems like for however many things the company does right, there's always twice as much they do wrong.
Yeah, it's one step forward, 2 steps back. And if Gomez Adams is around, it's half a step forward, 3 steps back.
Half a step.
AJ Styles' deal is over in 2024. All right. Then here's what you do. You bring up Carmelo Hayes today, and you get him and AJ together to start putting Carmelo over, because you've already fucked up Theory at this point. In my opinion, he should already have the championship. Carmelo, you can still build him. I cannot stand this horse shit of, you're leaving guys in the oven to the point that after a while, nobody's going to give a shit. Put the fucking belts on them and let them run. Cap has been a pissed off mood today. I'm not sure.
Cap is on one.
I'm coming in hot today, and I'm not sure why.
So did we finish talking about Lesnar and Cody?
Yeah, I mean, we basically said we'll know who really. There's 2 matches on the card that'll tell us who truly has the book: Rollins and Omos, and Cody and Brock. And it depends and how those matches go is going to tell us who really has the book.
Now, Suge and I were talking about this a bit on his podcast. so we'll bring it up tonight as it continues tonight, the remainder of the WWE draft. We've already seen just Roman and Solo go to SmackDown. Usos are still on the board.
They're probably going to Raw. I don't see them moving.
I don't see them going.
Why would you split the bloodline like that, though?
I think they got kicked out.
It seemed from what they're
what
telling
it seemed like
on
from
TV,
SmackDown.
they got kicked out.
That's why it was up to Roman where he went. Heyman already said that he was talking to the managers, and it was up to Roman's discretion if he wanted the Usos or Solo to go with him. And he chose Solo. Usos lost their belts. They lost their rematch. They're nothing to Roman anymore.
Yeah, basically that's where we're at. From
What do you
last
do?
Friday.
Turn the Usos babyface? I mean,
They're gonna have to unless they're gonna split them up and make Jay babyface.
They work really well as face. I will say that. I like the Usos as face.
We might go back to the
when they
Uso
were working
penitentiary.
heel. I love the Usos.
I think they're gonna go back to more or less like mid and post New Day rivalry.
By the way,
But it's
Boston
still
and Toronto
being
just
respect.
started. Maddie,
The Sox game just started?
yeah,
Okay.
it is no outs, man on first, bottom of the first. Vladdy's up to bat. I'm not sure who's on the mound for the Red Sox. Who is
David will never forget that rubber chicken.
Oh.
I'm actually glad somebody threw that in because that was about as close as you could get to reality there. Boston, who is on the mound for Boston? I'm trying to pull this up here. Kluber's on the mound for Boston.
Oh, Lord, we're going to lose.
Uh-oh.
So, Devin, just so happens.
Devin has a rubber chicken.
The chicken.
He's got more than just one.
Well, hey, I mean, I keep a one of Wade Boggs's baseball cards in my.
It's an entire bag full of rubber chickens.
Oh, wow. Where did you get the whole bag from?
He got two.
My homie got me 2 whole bags for Christmas.
Probably
Of
find
rubber
them on Amazon.
chickens?
That is a friend you need to keep for life.
Cody
I know,
fears
right?
Devin.
That's the friend you need to keep for life.
I completely lost my train of thought on that one. I was saying, yeah, the whole rubber chicken thing is kind of a microcosm of Cody's booking at that point. Well,
And that's appropriate. It's more like a bag of rubber chickens.
Well, it's like, are any of you guys familiar with Svengoolie? He does the movie hosting on MeTV every Saturday. Does like the old horror movies, and his gimmick is the rubber chicken.
Never heard of them.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
Essentially, it just comes down to the fact that when someone throws a rubber chicken at you, it means you're the shit. You're the shit in a bad way. It's just like, yeah.
Not you're the shit, you're the shits.
Yeah, the
So
shit.
it's kind of like the hook at the Apollo.
Yeah, you're the Ole Anderson. Yeah. But anyway, that's what's awaiting us this Saturday night, and I gotta tell you guys, while I always look forward to our PLE coverages of all the cards we've covered between here and our days at previous networks, this one I am looking the least forward to because I just have so little faith in what's going on here.
It's going to be a very interesting PLE, to say the least.
I think it's going to be a PLE that doesn't go down for the matches, but the booking of the matches and how telling they are.
Yeah.
I think
What's after this? Is it King and Queen of the Ring, or is it
No, it's
Night
now
of
Night of
Champions.
Champions.
Night of Champions in Saudi? Which they've got to get the belts off of Sammy and Owens before then, because they're not going to let them walk into. Well, they won't. I mean,
They won't do it. It's not a matter of WWE won't let him.
well,
do it.
Sammy's not allowed, and KO isn't going to go. So
I
they've got to get
guarantee you,
Yeah.
Vince would want them to go.
so the belts are coming
If
off.
there was a
Sammy
way,
and KO.
if there was a way for Vince to get Sami Zayn into
Oh, what the
Saudi Arabia, I know he'd take it.
I don't
Oh.
want a cap.
That's the goddamn worst throw I have ever seen in my life.
Well,
Oh.
while we're talking about things that are collapsing, let's
Clowns.
talk about
Oh, yes.
the historical collapse of one of the greatest teams on ice. Just throwing it away in
the
the
greatest
first round.
team statistically in history.
Yeah,
The
just
Boston
threw it
Bruins.
away in the first round.
Just
Ooh.
completely pissed away. I mean, they just got. I mean, what the fuck? We've been talking about. We don't even really cover hockey. We've been mentioning the Boston Bruins, and I wish we had Dave here tonight because he could shed some hockey knowledge on this. But the Boston Bruins just had the most epic collapse statistically in the history of the National Hockey League.
I think sports.
Wow.
Maybe not sports, but at least in NHL
Definitely
history.
in hockey.
Yeah, the greatest collapse ever. The greatest regular season of all time, and then losing losing in the first round.
It's
And
giving
just
me
getting-
March Madness vibes again. First seeds getting kicked out in first rounds and second rounds.
This was again, statistically on paper, this was the greatest NHL team in the regular season of all time. And then they play in the first round of the playoffs and just go up 3-1 and shit the bed.
I mean,
Wow.
they're not the only team that really just shit the bed too. Like my Avalanche
Yeah.
absolutely fucking shit the bed against the Kraken as well.
True, but they were
It's
not.
nowhere near what the Bruins did, but
And we were the defending champions.
yeah.
I'm not a big hockey guy, but I've been following this, and
It's
this
crazy.
is what
It's fucking
this is what I
insane.
cannot figure out is how is it that teams can put together such great regular seasons, over 60, 70, 80, whatever many games is in the NHL. How can you, also in the NBA, we had an epic collapse.
With the Bucks, the
Yeah,
Milwaukee
nice
Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah. That was pretty sad. I'd say based off the shit that John Morant was talking, you had epic collapse there too.
In Memphis against the Lakers too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is what
LeBron canceled the parade.
And
this is what blows my mind these days in sports is how can you be so damn good for so damn long throughout the course of the season and then just completely fall the fuck apart? I mean, how does that happen? Whether it be NFL, MLB, NHL, regardless of sport, there's something wrong with however things are put together. If you reach the postseason and you are the numero uno, I Ching God level team, and you just
it's insane. And
that's why we need relegation in North American sports, like they have over in the UK. If you are the number one seed and do not win the championship, you should be relegated.
My coworker is a big time Bruins fan, and I saw the ending and I messaged him and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he just gave me like the most short answers because I can guarantee you he was pissed.
I would be too.
It collapse doesn't even do it justice. It was an absolute folly.
Well, it made me think back to when the Patriots were undefeated
and lost to the Giants.
And then played the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Wow. I remember that.
And it's like, you guys demolished every single team you played all year. And then you play the Giants and you shit the bed. Well, that's the problem. You shouldn't make the playoffs unless too many teams get into playoffs these days.
Yeah.
And it's all for revenue. Let's just
another
put
game in there.
Well,
Of course.
Look at the NCAA tournament. 64 teams get in. It should be 32 because half of them don't belong there to begin with.
Yes,
And
half
they get
of them
lucky.
are going to get absolutely
They get
shit-wrecked.
lucky and they fuck everybody's betting up. That's why you have got.
If there's money being spent, they're definitely not going to change it. So
Here's
not
how
only
I
are they
look
making
at-
money on.
Here's how I look at professional playoffs. Suge, you look like a gentleman who would be a phenomenal bouncer at any club that I would open up. You're a big
Actually,
dude.
I do bounce a little on the side.
Okay. So you're with me there. The playoffs should have bouncers keeping teams out.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to get in. You are going. Unless you won your division, won your conference, you ain't getting the fuck in. I don't care if you had just it drives me fucking nuts. These goddamn teams that get into the fucking playoffs who don't have a pulse. If you
I mean, shit, look at March Madness this year. How many of those teams that we thought had zero chance in hell went to like the Sweet 16 or the fucking Elite 8?
They shouldn't have, because they shouldn't have been there to start with.
They played out though.
I was like, Suge, if I was trying to get into your club, you would bounce my ass immediately because I don't deserve to be in there.
Right. Like you can't come in here in that color, though. You can't. Yeah. You can't wear that in here. That's gonna make me have to work hard.
Too white, too blonde, ain't getting in. I'm fine with that. But can we start doing that with these goddamn teams in the playoffs that just get fucking, bounced immediately, or have a lucky night and upset a number one seed and screw up the betting for everyone?
Right.
Ah! Damn, Cap's pissed tonight.
But a lot of people like that. That keeps things.
I don't. I don't.
I enjoy the underdog winning. My biggest critique of the NBA, and the reason I kind of fell off
Verdugo
for a while,
forward.
is because it was the same few teams in the playoffs for a while. It was like the same three for year after year. So like it's always nice to get something fresh.
I do like the underdogs, and that's why I don't have too much of an issue with it. But I do agree there are far too many teams in playoffs now.
Verdugo in.
What was that, Cap?
Yoshida drove Verdugo in.
Nice.
Double off the monster.
Well,
Yoshida
since
yours
that
or the one I stole from you?
Yoshida's the one I believe that Cap has.
No, I've got Verdugo. You got Dev has Yoshida. He was the one that swiped him from you.
But since we are now hopping over to that, Cap, what MLB news do you have for us this week?
Oh, well.
Oh, hello, Missy.
Aaron Judge is now officially on the IL, 10-day IL, with a quote-unquote hip strain, I think is what they're calling it at this point. Bryce Harper will make his season debut tomorrow after only 159 days after Tommy John surgery.
Jesus.
Ronald Acuna of the Braves exited the game today after being hit in the shoulder by a pitch.
Ooh.
Ouch.
The Giants placed Crawford and Yastrzemski on the IL. Astros put Urquidy on the IL. We've got a lot of injuries starting to pile up here starting in May.
Yeah, didn't you say my team looks like an emergency room?
I said that before the season started, but Boston's trouble isn't hitting the ball, it's throwing the ball.
It's our pitching. It's been our pitching for years.
So let's take a look at the MLB standings coming into today. It is May 1st. We've been in the season for about 6 weeks now. So Tampa Bay leads the American League East. Baltimore is 3.5 games back. Toronto 4.5. And then Boston and New York are both 8 games out of first place in the American League East. Damn. So the Yankees and the Red Sox both suck.
Ooh.
I'll accept it as long as the Yankees suck.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Yankees. They are 3-7 in their last 10. The Red Sox are 6-4. So the Red Sox are a little bit hot.
Not bad.
We move to the AL Central. Oh Christ! Do I really have to read that? I will. The Twins are leading the division 17-12. 3.5 games back are the Guardians. The Detroit Tigers 10-17, 6 games back. My atrocious goddamn fucking White Sox are 8-21, 9 games out of first place, and it's May 1st.
That's terrible.
This team, I am the most disappointed I have ever been in the White Sox at this point in the year. This team cannot fucking pitch. They cannot fucking hit. They cannot field. The White Sox cannot do a goddamn thing right. We are 1 game better than the Royals, who are 7-22.
How are the Cards doing?
We'll get to them. We're not to the National League yet.
Okay.
So the Rangers have a 2-game lead on the American League West over Houston. The Angels are 2.5 back, so you got a little bit of a contested race there. Seattle is 12-16, 5 games out, and then Oakland is 6-23, the worst record in the majors. As I said on our broadcast either a week or 2 weeks ago, at this point, the Oakland Athletics are on pace to be the worst team in baseball history.
Wow, that is a statement.
No. Statistically, it's right because, at this point, still the 1964 New York Mets are the worst team in baseball history. Let me pull up their record that year. They were 53-109.
Ooh.
So, which is a winning percentage of, let me get my calculator here, of 486. If the Oakland Athletics continue on the streak that they're on, then they will eclipse that record. Let's see. And that means the Oakland A's will have a record of 33-129. So almost 30 games worse than the 1964 Mets. That is how bad the Oakland Athletics are. We are talking not just historically bad, but fucking piss on the brush fire bad. That is how bad the Oakland A's are. Getting into the National League, the Atlanta Braves beat the Mets twice today. They are up 3 games on the Mets.
The one time they win, David loses money.
So you got the Braves are at 3 games on the Mets. Actually, the Mets are tied with the Marlins, surprisingly, for second place in the National League East. If the Marlins can just get Sandy Alcantara to figure out what the fuck's going on. Philadelphia Phillies are 4 games back. Nationals are 8 games back. That division's still kind of wonky. We arrive at the National League Central. In first place, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Still?
Yeah.
20-9.
They're on fire.
The Milwaukee Brewers are 1.5 games back. The Cubs are 5 games back at 14-13. The Reds, 7.5 back at 12-16. And bringing up the rear, the St. Louis Cardinals, 10-19, 10 games out of first place.
Jesus. All of our
Dev,
teams
what is going on with your boys? I mean, at least Maddie's guys, can lay claim to playing better than the Yankees. The White Sox suck, and now your Cardinals suck.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with our team? Good. Do you watch baseball?
It's the one year we do something about baseball, Matt. All of our teams go to shit.
I mean, Boston's playing the best out of the 3.
Out of all of us, you're doing the best.
I mean, you're not doing good, but you're doing better than
Not that fantasy league, though.
Shut up.
Oh, we'll get to that here in a moment.
Suge, do you follow baseball at all?
I follow baseball a little bit. I know when the Dodgers play, but that's really about it, just based on where I live.
The Dodgers had a great weekend. The Dodgers have actually now tied the Diamondbacks for first place in the NL West.
Okay.
So they're tied for first place. The Padres are 1 game back. The Giants are 4 back, and then the Rockies are 9-20, 7 games back.
Ooh.
but they're still 3 wins better than Oakland. Again, at this point, the Oakland A's are on pace to be 33 and 129, which would eclipse the worst record in the history of Major League Baseball since 1869 by 29 games.
How many years is that?
Too many.
Okay, let's take 2023 minus 1869. This would be the worst team in 154 years.
Wow. No, you definitely needed you need that number. The worst team in 150
athletics are. They could be
potentially
the worst team in the history of baseball in 154 years.
Hey, you need a T-shirt for that.
That would justify that entire team getting fired and them switching states.
And getting to the well, we're getting to some some cool news. Getting to our fantasy league that just about everybody in this family kind of plays in. Over the weekend, the Rat Bastards had quite a time because we upset both Bang and Swang and Blunting Stoned for the first place. We are leading by 6.5 games.
It's Blunting.
HGH, Conseco. So you have the Rat Bastards, my team, after a phenomenal weekend. We pitched, we hit, we did everything. We are leading the league by 6.5 games. Our buddy Casey Lilly and Devin are currently tied for second place. But you're still 6.5 back. Our buddy Steve Champagne, 66.5, so he's about 10 games back. My brother, 61. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on there. Oh, Dave, the V Trigger. Ever since you changed your name to the V Trigger, your team has absolutely gone to shit. You are about 24 games out of – what happened, Dave? The more you keep sucking Kenny Omega's dick, the worse you get.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Dave.
That is egregious.
That's egregious.
Well, you and Twinkle Toes McFingerbang keep having your thing going on in the locker room, and I'll just keep, doing what I'm doing, which is kicking everybody's ass. And then following V Trigger is Matty Laws. Matty, your team, you kind of need to put some guys on the IL and get some players, because right now you've got 4 guys you could put on the IL and actually scoop up some players who are healthy. You're making.
It could always be worse.
He hasn't found any good mustaches or Asians to pick up.
Not mustaches.
Well, if you want to lose $50, then that's all well and good. But at this point, Matty, you gotta start doing some shit, because two of your top 3 pitchers are on the 15-day IL.
Yeah, I know. I definitely need to look into that. I need to find better mustaches and more Japanese players.
Hey, don't forget the Dominican Republic now.
Oh, I could start going after the Dominicans.
I love the fact that Major League Baseball is probably the most integrated form of sports we have on the planet, apart from maybe soccer. But let me just say this.
If Shohei Ohtani could grow a mustache, that would be fantastic.
Matty, there are guys who are not of Asian descent and who do not have mustaches who are really great baseball players. You might want to look into them if you want to not finish this league in the fucking cellar.
You want to trade me, Yoshida?
No.
But anyway, that is the present baseball situation. I'm looking at the NBA playoffs, seeing what the fuck's going on there.
It's been fun over in the NBA.
Oh, it's been a whole lot of fun.
LeBron has gone back into God mode, apparently. Tonight we got the Sixers and the Celtics. They're playing right now. They just started.
When some kid comes up and talks shit to someone like LeBron,
okay, so
or Jordan.
Wait a minute. So I want to take a point. I want to be petty here, and I brought this up on Twitter after the fact. Dylan Brooks said LeBron needs to drop a 40-piece for him to pay attention, and there was no 40-piece drop. And I want to say that Michael Jordan wouldn't let that slide, and Kobe Bryant wouldn't let that slide. Even though LeBron did have amazing performances, he could low-key let that slide. Like Kobe would have came out the next night and dropped 48.
Like in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Kobe was
and then he
that
would have
bad.
said some shit like good game afterwards.
And also later tonight, we have Suns and Maddie's Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. The parlay.
So I have a special place in my heart for the Denver Nuggets.
I bet you do, living out in California, watching the Lakers beat the shit out of us every fucking second round.
No. So
Red
listen,
Sox just went up 2-0.
I have a story for you.
All right.
The Denver Nuggets used to practice at my high school before games here.
Really?
Yeah. So it'd be a thing every time the Nuggets would come through. So
Okay.
me and a number of my friends have met Carmelo Anthony
Lucky
just
motherfucker.
on campus.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that they always have a special place in my heart.
I bet you they hated coming to LA because every fucking time we were in the playoffs, the Lakers kicked us out in like the second round.
Yeah.
Our ass.
Wasn't that due to a grudge that Kobe had against the coach, or was that a different team?
I think it was something that George Karl had said something whenever Kobe came out, like whenever he was a rookie or some shit.
I think.
And
Oh, yeah,
Kobe
no,
took
he
that personally.
No, I know what happened. I think he benched him in one of the Olympic Games.
Oh.
Yeah. And so from that
Kobe
point,
took
he
that
was
personally.
Yeah, and Kobe was like, from this point on, he's not getting into. They're not getting past us in the final.
Bro,
Period.
if we ever got past the Lakers,
Oh, shit, we got some breaking news.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
breaking news. Bap, 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 bap.
What's breaking?
Snoop Dogg has joined a bid to buy the Ottawa Senators.
Whoa?
What?
Why?
It just broke on ESPN.
Hey, look. You don't need to know why. Okay, it's Snoop D-O-double-G. He's crib walked in SoFi Stadium twice. The man is a legend. He owns Death Row Records. Like, at this point, he's just doing side quests in life.
Yep.
There is no why.
Well, I mean, I love
Shaq.
I love Snoop. I never thought I would see the day that Snoop would actually. I mean,
Get into hockey.
I get Magic Johnson. I get if Dr. Dre or Jay-Z buying
What a
sport.
way
Like,
to.
Snoop never seemed
Isn't
like a
Jay-Z
sports team
directly involved with the NFL?
I think he's directly involved with the Nets too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought I would see Snoop get involved in buying a team, let alone a hockey team.
Guys,
So if you look into it, a lot of black celebrities have gone in and started putting in on teams. I know I think the Williams sisters own a little bit of the Dolphins.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while. So I don't know if he's directly interested in hockey or he just wants in on the bag. But I can see it. Snoop makes good investments. Let me just say that.
yeah.
Like, so he's putting his money where he knows things right, and I think a lot more. I'd check out the Senators honestly if he bought it. I'd look into hockey. I'm not a hockey fan.
Snoop Dogg way of confirming it though on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Amazing
and actually,
work.
we got some more news here coming up.
That's not Snoop Dogg.
Nope, that is not.
That
Hey,
is
Alex, how's it
no
going, man?
start.
Wow. Okay.
Aerosmith announcing retirement.
Oh shit.
Well deserved.
Yeah, because Steven Tyler looks like he's been like his veins have been being filled with formaldehyde for about 20 years.
Hey, look.
I'm not the biggest Aerosmith fan, but I love their guitar player Joe Perry. Come up with some phenomenal riffs over the years. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting to that point where a lot of those bands are starting to.
You know what's sad?
If you've seen Bruce Springsteen lately, the guy looks like death warmed over.
Welcome, Alex.
So it's sad when I'm a drummer. Y'all know this. I'm a drummer. It's sad seeing metal drummers go through that decline stage where they can't play the things they used to anymore. Like I think Lars is going through it right now.
Yeah. Well, Lars has played hard and heavy for Metallica formed in 1983, 84. So we're reaching like 40 years of him being the drummer for the most famous heavy metal band on the planet.
Right.
And drummers, unless you're Charlie Watts or, Neil Peart or Bill Ward, drummers wear out quick because it is such a physically, intensive. Drummers have the most physically intensive job of any guy in a band. And It's no surprise that they wear out quicker because they just, you're asking them to do more physically than anybody else in the band.
Well, not only that, but a lot of ways, especially in that style, a lot of ways that they want you to play to be flashy and seen on stage aren't good for you.
Well, Lars was never flashy. He was just there.
No,
he was just
like there's a certain stage presence that you have to have in heavy metal. Like you can't, and you're familiar. Like I'll give you an example. Are you familiar with Seven Dust?
I love
a little bit.
I love Seven Dust.
Okay, so Morgan Rose from Seven Dust has he be getting athlete injuries from playing just because of the showmanship. Everything comes up to here when it doesn't necessarily have to, and his equipment pays the price for it. If you give me a second, I can show you his signature drumstick.
Oh yeah, I mean, I lived when I was back the last band I was in. I lived with our drummer, and
yeah, should send it into the private chat, and I can throw it up.
We would finish a 3-4 hour rehearsal or finish a show, and you would think the guy just sweat off about 20 pounds, and he would.
Yeah.
I mean, drummers.
So I have it here. You guys will never guess when I bought this.
That actually looks like one of John Bonham's sticks because he played what they call tree trunks. Played the heaviest.
It's all butt.
Yeah.
It's a dowel. These survive Drumline.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I bought these back in high school, and I used them when I helped out with Drumline, and they're still kicking. And I've been out of high school for 10 years now, a little over 10 years.
Holy hell, bro! So
drumming takes a toll. Drumming takes a toll on your body. Guitar playing takes a toll on your hands, your wrists. Carpal tunnel, arthritis, things like that. Singing obviously takes a toll on this. But drummers,
no one helps load out. Nobody.
In my band we had a code. Everybody loads in, everybody loads out.
So yeah, it would have been nice if any of the bands that I tried to start ever worked out. I'm more of an independent contractor. So when I say no one helps load out, it's the keyboardist is gone, bass player gone, guitar is gone. If they're friends with you in real life, they'll be like, "You need any help?" But in LA, in big music spots around the state, the country, you have the guys who just play on the weekends and they do gigs and stuff, and they're not necessarily in the band. They just take the gig.
Right.
And so it
Pickup
varies.
band.
Yeah, no, I love me a good pickup band, but most people don't help.
Well, they don't. I mean, but that was, one thing that I enjoyed when I played is I mean, I don't get along with those guys now, but we did kind of have a code in the band that, everybody helps load in, everybody helps load out, then you go do whatever.
And there's always a story of the band members that don't get along.
No, I mean, we got along at the time. It was afterward that, I mean, I can tell you so many stories that some I can't and won't, because some of them are still married and or just got married. But
they're trying to keep their shit together.
There are stories that, you learn quick when you're playing in a group who's there and who's not there.
Right.
As I always say, there are those who are, what was the phrase I used to coin? There are those that are there when practice starts and practice ends, and there's those who are there before practice begins and after practice ends, and those are the ones that actually give a shit. So you can, take that as you will, but in any group, you're always going to have the ones who actually are there to work and those who are just kind of there. And it used to blow my mind how certain people were just really didn't give a shit, contributed nothing creatively, contributed, nothing financially. They showed up, did their thing, then they took off.
Right.
So this is actually a great tangent since you guys just brought it up. Suge, you did say you've been drumming for a while. How long have you been drumming?
Cap's going to relieve some ballast. I'm still listening. Go ahead, Suge.
Oh, cool. So this year is 15 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
sorry, Suge. Vladdy Guerrero just hit a 3-run homer, 3-2 Toronto.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Nice. But yeah, it's been 15 years, and for my 15th year, I wanted to do something special. So I wanted the Vinnie Paul snare drum, but it's incredibly expensive. It's a 14x8 maple, and it goes used for about $1,400, to $1,800. Yeah,
that's an expensive drum.
But check it out; it gets even better. So, his estate sold his 2 prototype Pearl snare drums to some studios for about $60,000 each. Yeah.
So you said 60,000 each?
Yes.
120,000.
Yeah, they made bank from those drums. But so it's a 14x8. I got a 14x8 in a wood that I like, birch, off Reverb for $274.
That's not bad.
And it's a marine white pearl finish.
Reverb.com is awesome, by the way. If you're looking for used, that's where I've gotten so much of my gear.
Yeah. 2 of my mainstay pieces I've gotten from Reverb. I got a Sweet Ride from Reverb, a Zildjian A Sweet Ride. If you know music, a lot of guys swear by these. And I got a sub kick from there too, which is going to be real handy soon. But
so overall, how much does your whole kit cost? Did your whole kit cost you?
The last one I had it, I bought it for about $400. Completely. At first it was 2 colors, but I put so much. To be honest, the kit is priceless because it was 2 different colors initially, and I cut the wraps off and sanded it down and stained it. So it's my baby. It's really priceless. It sounds amazing now. It sounded great before. It's I know you guys are probably familiar with Drum Workshop DW.
Yep.
It's the more student brand of theirs, PDP.
Mhm.
And so it's a really solid drum. I sanded it down, but my snares are where I really spent my money on. I'm a Pearl guy. Um, I have 3 of them, and then I have this Drumcraft drum that I got for like pennies on the dollar when Ludwig made a mistake with Sam Ash and had to sell like all the.
Ludwig drums are my favorites.
Okay, so check this out. Drumcraft was this German drum company, and they were making like the BMW of drums, and they were selling in America through Ludwig back when they weren't really making new kits and stuff. They were just selling like whatever product they had. They weren't making any new models, and they started making new models again abruptly in like the early 2010s, and Sam Ash had to sell that stuff to make room for the new Ludwig stuff for pennies on the dollar. So I got like this $400 snare drum for $90, brand new.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Now, Cap, I saw you go and grab something.
I'll say if I were to go on the road right now, my rig would be somewhere around 11, 12 grand of the stuff I've got. Downstairs, I have a 1957 Fender Tweed Twin amplifier. That's about 3,500, and then
Very nice, very nice.
I've got
Need to sit down.
my acoustic guitar, which is a 2017 Martin D28. 3,200, and then my main axe. This is what I pulled out of the closet.
Okay.
It's a 2017 Gibson Les Paul.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew deep down in my heart there was a Les Paul coming out of that case.
This guitar is about $4,000. I bought it in 2017. I've had it customized with push-pull pots to split the wiring. I had a DiMarzio, or not a DiMarzio, had a hopped up pickup put in the bridge, kept the original. I've had the neck shaved down. I mean,
okay,
this is my Excalibur. This guitar will do anything and more too. I would take this guitar, plug it into an amp. Forget my pedal board downstairs, which has about another $2,000 worth of gizmos on it. Plug this into an amplifier, and I am happy. This is
Baby.
this is the baby. This is the.
I got you. I'm gonna grab my 14x8. I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about a little earlier.
I have a katana. And Devin's like, I got weapons.
This is basically the guitar that I wanted when I was about 10 years old, and it took me until I was almost 30 to be able to afford it.
Hey, dude, it makes it all the more worth it.
And this thing Maddie's held it. This thing weighs about 10 pounds. This is it's solid.
You'd want, what would it be?
Huh?
Not like your dream guitar, but if there was another guitar within that price range or a little cheaper, what would the other guitar you'd want be?
Unless I was able to go to the Gibson custom shop in Nashville and have them basically recreate this guitar, but with more of a flame top. I mean, this is essentially irreplaceable to me because the 2017 line was the last one that had this particular configuration, because with humbucker pickups, with these switches, I can turn it from humbucker to single coil and back, but it also has another switch that lets you bypass and just play straight from the guitar. This is essentially irreplaceable to me. I mean, this.
That was pretty.
Ooh,
Like that is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
pearl. Is that was it? I can't quite move it. Look. Oh yeah, pearl.
That's pretty. Suge, how tall are you?
I am 6'3".
Okay.
You're about, I'm 6'4", so you're about an inch shorter than I am.
Why are we so
Yeah.
short, Devin?
I am 5'10". He's
5'8".
5'9".
I'm 5'8".
Oh.
Oh, I listen. You probably have a wonderful time shoe shopping.
Yeah, tell them what it's
Mhm.
like, Suge, being our size. I wear a size 14,
So I'm a 13. It's depressing. You can't really go in the stores for shoes.
You can't.
And I used to work at Foot Locker in high school, and so when the Jordans would come in, they would get, what are you, Maddie, like a size 9, 10, 10 and a half?
I think I'm like a 9.5.
No,
yeah.
you're an 8.5.
No, I'm a 9.5.
You're 8.5 to 9.
No,
You
8.5's too tight.
Too tight.
Okay, so anywhere from that range, that's where the most shoes come in.
That's average.
Yeah. So when it gets up to like 12, maybe there's 10, 13, it's like 4 or 5, 6 maybe. 14, maybe 3.
And then you have to start asking, can you check in the back?
I felt bad for our friend.
No.
Austin.
It's not. It's not. Can you check in the back? Because the back probably don't got it. The extended shoe size in the back is small as hell. It's tiny.
What size was Austin? Like
And
16?
I don't remember.
the most depressing thing to hear is we have it in a 12. The biggest size we have it in is a whatever. And it's like, why are you telling me this when I asked for a 13? Like, don't come back and be like, the biggest size we have is an 11. Like, I'm a chop some
Just tell
toes
me
off.
you ain't got it so I can go elsewhere.
Right. Like, it's not going to do anything for me.
I haven't bought shoes in an actual shoe store since I was in junior high. I have to order mine.
Where do you order your shoes from?
Typically, I'm a Nike guy, so typically Kohl's will have stuff in my size. Amazon will have stuff in my size. Typically, one of those two. It just depends on what I'm looking for. I typically keep a pair of flip flops. I keep a pair of just like, go around town Nikes, and I keep like a really nice pair of Nikes, in my closet for like, nice. Those Nikes I wore to the Royal Rumble. Those are like my nice ones.
So I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, and so you want to shop online.
So where do you shop? What are your go-to, Shugs?
I've been buying direct from manufacturer, honestly.
Is
So
there a specific brand that's your favorite? Like Caps is Nike.
So yes, I do have quite the particular. I'm a Nike, Converse, Vans guy.
Okay.
Just because Vans and Converse are a California thing.
Yeah.
While you're here,
I like Converse. I love Nike. I wore Converse for about 10 years. But then I started wearing Nikes, and I fell in love. Like they just work.
So the only Nike shoe I own right now are Air Maxes. I have about 7 pair of Air Maxes.
Jesus. I have a broken pair of work shoes and a pair of slides. And that's it.
Jesus.
I buy my shoes at Walmart, and the most I'll spend is like maybe $60.
This was $30. And
Walmart.
these are my steel-toed dad shoes.
Oh yeah,
I
those
love
are
it.
what you brought when your steel-toe dad shoes.
But don't worry, I have a specific work shoe called Tread Safe, and I call them my workforce ones. That's as close as I'll get to Air Force
Not
One.
the workforce. I think my favorite pair of Air Force Ones came out in the mid 2000s. There were the clear ones. If you don't remember the clear Air Force Ones, you missed the time.
Wait, like you could see your feet and stuff, or what?
They were plastic. So you remember that you might be a little young for like the clear backpack thing.
I do remember
trend.
the clear backpack. I do remember that shit.
That came back in the school shooting things. That came back. The clear backpacks are a big thing in schools now.
I think that's kind of sad. I don't think they came back because of fashion. But they had clear Air Maxes, the clear Air Force Ones, and so some people would wear them without socks.
Get them dogs away.
And it'd get a little moist in there, and you can see the precipitation.
Everyone on the planet's least favorite word, moist.
Looks up, damn girl, you pretty fine. What you got? Oh Jesus, them crust.
And you
got a
see
whole
it.
ass ecosystem in there. Damn, girls, that's psycho. How do you say shrooms? Cypocillin. I already forgot how to.
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin. Yeah.
Ooh, that was a brain fart, huh?
Yeah, those clear Air Force Ones kind of fucked me up.
Yeah,
Google it.
Why are
Like,
those your favorites out of everything? Why are those?
Get some cool ass socks and put them on.
because it brings back a time. Like this is what you would wear to the club when Independent by Webby came out.
Were you a fan of those foot shoes that had like the toe ridges?
Absolutely not.
No.
I had a friend that had those, and I was just like, bro, please don't.
Was you
Not
the
with
type
me.
of friend that wore them all the time?
No, not all the time. Those were just like his casual shoes.
Imagine going around town and your friends wearing.
Dude, that's the only thing I've
wearing
noticed
feet.
is if there are people that have those shoes, that's the only shoe they wear, and they're diehard toe fans.
Well, that's because people they say that the toe box on regular shoes squeezes your foot, and it doesn't let your foot just splay
Just
like your fingers. But yeah, but
if you got
I'm
those
too set in the
Air
game now.
Forces, you ain't got to worry about that cardboard. It's all plastic. It's all clear.
Hey, look, I'm trying to tell you. Look up clear Air Force Ones if you don't remember. What a time to be
I'll
alive!
do it real quick. Clear.
So actually, at my work a few months ago, we had it was a combination lip sync talent show contest that I won, and no one expected me to whip this one out.
Well, that is actually.
What'll you do when you get lonely? No one's waiting by your side. You've been running, hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride, Layla. Got me on
It was a move.
You really had to be confident.
Begging, darling,
Like scroll down a little bit so you can see the options
won't you ease my
on the other side. Like depending on the like those ones right there, the white and red ones, those ones fire.
Good God.
What are these, bro? Like the green. They look like bowling shoes.
They do.
Fire. you had to be there. Middle school was lit.
Tough time.
Sweet
Bro,
Jesus
people would
Jesus.
raw dog those shoes.
Yeah, no, they would raw dog those.
That would be some of the most disgusting looking.
Bro, I ain't trying to see your goddamn toenails through your shoes.
That's how you get fought
They get athlete's foot.
and an ass beaten. I'll beat your ass and give you a pair of socks. Kids in these hallways will call me a hero, damn it.
Solo is main eventing tonight.
Again?
Wow.
Sunday or not Sunday, Friday?
Oh, here's
Not tonight on Raw.
He main evented Raw last week too.
Oh, that's probably.
So the last big thing we got to get into is the Kentucky Derby is being ran this Saturday just before Backlash.
Yeah.
And I just posted the link in our chat.
3 equals.
Shut the fuck up, Evan.
Cap is a big fan of the horsies. I love the Triple Crown. I love horse racing. That was my mother's favorite sport. It just kind of grew on me. The Kentucky Derby is like a holy day, and the fact that I get to do that and then do Backlash with my brothers. So these are the present odds. It's a 20 horse field, which is big. Churchill Downs.
Here we go. We're going. There we go.
All right. So these are the current betting odds 5 days out from the Derby. I'm curious to see what Matt, because I don't bet very much on sports, but I always bet on the Derby. I always lay $100 on the horse that I think my mother would pick since she passed. So I'm curious as to who she would be picking here, but I want to get our purveyor of shit bets looking at this line.
You should have done practical moves.
No, I was about to say here's no. I've now looked at the entire field, and we're gonna go with
Lord Miles.
Rocket Can.
Rocket can burning out his fuse out here alone.
Hopefully, this horse don't break its leg.
That would be an 8 bells type of thing that happened a few years ago in the Derby when a horse broke its leg on the track and had to be euthanized.
Wow.
I'm looking at Hit Show, Confidence Game, King's Barnes. I kind of like.
I'm going practical move.
Skinner,
Practical move.
maybe. Sun Thunder. I'm intrigued there. 50 to
Grandma would
1.
probably go Angel of Empire.
Raise Kane.
Hold up. I have a question.
Lord Miles.
All right.
How are some of these people riding 2 different horses?
Brad Cox.
No, those are the trainers,
Oh, okay. My
not
bad.
the jockeys. The trainers.
My bad.
My bad.
I don't know this horse a thing.
Listen, I don't either. But that's actually what they demolished in Inglewood to put SoFi Stadium there. There was a racetrack. Makes me miss the good old days.
And you can bet in these states.
Nice.
Colorado,
If I had
isn't it?
money,
Oh, yeah, there's
I'd
Colorado.
bet.
Well, see, that's something kind of curious. Because Maddie and I need to do our horse betting and see where we lie and who we want to put our money. Because I will bet on the Kentucky Derby. It's the greatest 2 minutes in sports.
I'm gonna steal that one.
No, I didn't coin that. It's a common thing. The greatest 2 minutes in sports is the Kentucky Derby.
You know what else is the what the fuck, Devin?
You get the opening
Yeah,
riders
absolutely.
up, then they play My Old Kentucky Home. They put the horses in the gate, and they're off. What are you two? Are you two pinching each other's nips again, like we were
No,
on?
I'm putting candle wax on him, and I'm melting
Wow.
his finger.
Do you two ever stop trying to hurt each other?
There's no physical thing. It's just uncomfortability for him. Simba.
Stop.
Wow.
Simba, you.
No.
One of these days, I want to be the referee between a match with you two. Just to be there to count pinfalls, like an Iron Man match, Maddie versus Dev, with Cap there to be the ref.
Can I provide commentary?
Yeah, let's show
Awesome.
commentary. I'll be the referee to count 60-man Iron Man match between you two.
Is Suge and Dave on commentary?
That'd be awesome. I love Dave.
And let's do that and try and raise some money like a charity thing. Like let's let Maddie and Dev beat the living shit out of each other while we try to raise some money for a good cause.
Yeah,
So,
get an undercard.
do like a talking shop of mania kind of gimmick, backyard wrestling, but get a bunch of mid card matches.
Yeah, just you have to do it. You have to do everything safely. So instead of hitting people with light tubes,
no, these two do not understand wrestling safety. They don't understand working to prevent from hurting your opponent. They are out to hurt their opponent.
Death match.
Oh, so that's going to make it realistic.
60-minute death match.
Oh,
60-minute iron death match. Whoever gets the most falls in 60 minutes, I'll be there to count or call the uncles.
The uncles.
Yeah,
the unklins, to quote Death the Road.
You'll just be in a 60-minute submission.
So,
do you think we can do that, Maddie and Dev? You think?
Definitely not 60, but we can do a match.
No. Work out the schedule where we can do a 60-minute Ironman match. You two against each other. Cap is the ref.
We got to get the cardio up.
Let Suge and Dave be the commentators. We'll broadcast it live on the stream and just let you two do what you do.
I'll even put on a blazer.
Ooh.
What do you think, boys?
You want to wrestle with GoPros on?
What do you
POV wrestling match?
What do you think?
We could probably set it up eventually. Not even joking.
Let's do it.
But
hey, I'm there.
Did we go through all the news?
We pretty much went through all the news unless something has broken since we started. Embiid's sitting out game 1 versus the Celtics with a knee injury.
Okay.
LeBron, quote, locked in as rivalry with Steph resumes.
I'm gonna love to see this.
The disgust.
Well, I mean, you kind of have the sideburns.
Yeah.
I think that would actually be a pretty cool idea. Put together a match, Maddie versus Dev, with Cap calling pinfalls and submissions, 60-minute time limit. Let Suge and Dave do the commentary and broadcast it on the stream one time only. Maddie versus Dev.
Should we put it behind a paywall or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm going to be coming up there for Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
So that would put the three of us in the same place, and then let Dave and Suge.
And you're also coming down for Christmas.
Yeah. But I think that would actually be pretty. If you two are willing to go at it one more time,
we got to go somewhere where we've got less altitude.
Poor thing.
I'm gonna get thrown around a little bit.
A little bit.
I think if you two are willing to go at it one more time, I think that would be a pretty phenomenal thing to do for the stream, for the show.
Absolutely phenomenal.
60 minutes, whoever gets the most falls.
So, since Suge's first time on the actual podcast, we asked our guests to do this. It's Bring One. To introduce yourself a bit more to the audience, you've been on for our, live streams and stuff, but bring something that not necessarily physical, but something that helps describe you, a wrestling match, song, movie.
Okay, so I will give you a wrestling match, and I'll give it's a rather recent wrestling match. I believe we talked about it on my podcast. Swerve versus Rich Swann versus Commander versus Vikingo at Triple Mania. I think that a lot more people need to give Lucha Libre a chance.
100%.
If you don't
Vikingo
know,
is awesome.
yeah, I do think that the big homies told him he needs to tone it down a little bit, but he's been killing lately. I've been loving MLW bringing back Lucha Underground recently. And if you're not watching the Lucha Libre matches they're putting on over in GCW,
phenomenal.
Yeah. And so I get a lot of that here in Los Angeles, the Wilmington area. They have a lot of Lucha Libre guys coming up in through here. So I see it often. I love it. I think my favorite wrestler behind the mask right now is Microman. If you haven't seen Microman work, you should definitely watch a Microman match.
Is that the little guy that was in the Battle Riot last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like what, 2 feet?
He's like 3 feet tall.
He's a menace.
And people are selling for him, and it's amazing.
The selling is amazing. My fiance loved the spot last year.
I'm glad that's really who that Microman appeals to. The auxiliary watchers of wrestling, like they'll watch it when it's on, but they're not gonna like turn on wrestling. But yeah, no, definitely check that out. I just streamed it live the other night, so it should be on YouTube. I love seeing Swerve work because he's so fluid in the ring, and he got to use a lot of his power, which you don't really get to see in America. So it's 25 minutes you won't regret spending on wrestling, and the commentary is in Spanish. And if you haven't watched a wrestling match in Spanish, yeah, you don't need to know what they're saying. You feel it.
It's fucking amazing. I love it.
You're gonna feel it. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cap, what will you bring to the table?
Actually, I kind of feel like I already brought it. It was that Les Paul, but I will reach over into my bookcase here. Let's see here. Oh boy, what's a good one to put into the conversation?
I don't want to grab the first book that I this within reach of me right now.
Is it the Kama Sutra?
No. A little worse.
I will go with a very underrated movie. I mentioned it last week whenever we had Dave on. For those of you who know the TV series MASH, it's a great TV show, but the movie that spawned the TV show with Donald Sutherland playing the lead role, this is one of the most funniest and groundbreaking movies ever, because it was sort of up there with Easy Rider in terms of movies that really changed a few things as far as how cinema went down. And I'll even throw this one out there. Steve McQueen, Bullet, the greatest car chase in the history of cinema. The movie won several Oscars for cinematography, but the car chase in this movie is phenomenal. It is Steve McQueen driving a 1966 Ford Fastback Mustang against the criminals driving a 1966 Dodge Charger. And it is the greatest 11 minutes of car chase you will ever see through the streets of San Francisco. Highly recommend this. It's a great movie.
Oh, Cap. The match between Swerve and Nick Wayne and Defy is sitting at 8.87 on Cage Match, almost nine full points.
Wow. That was a good match.
I am going to shout out Tom Grossi for my bring one, as he is going to be doing the 30 for 30, where he's going to 30 different NFL stadiums in 30 days, starting the end of this month. So keep your eyes on that.
And mine's
That's a mission.
With the new, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So with the new release of the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that's probably going to take a lot of my free time up.
Nice.
Yeah, Micah said, I was asking what he's doing for Memorial Day. He said, I'm just going to be playing Star Wars.
Yep, and I'm going to as well. I'm starting the grind after this stream, actually.
Yes, Dave, the Blues Brothers car chase was pretty awesome, but Bullet beats it. Steve McQueen, at the height of his ability, former stock car driver, Bullet beats Blues Brothers as much as I love Blues Brothers. Yes, Elliot Gould was in the original MASH. Sally Kellerman was also in there. Yeah, the original MASH is hilarious.
Suge, are you going to be available this Saturday for the Backlash stream?
I will let you know. My wife's birthday is the day after.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah. So it depends on what we're doing.
Ah, gotcha.
Fair enough.
I'm pretty sure we'll have Dave there because he's always there with us on Saturday and Sundays.
I'll try to slide through if I can, because I'm definitely going to be at least watching a little bit.
Hey, pop in, man. We'd love to have you.
I will.
All right, Cap, anything else that you would like to plug?
Just everything coming up on the RAWBall podcast. We got Dodgers and Padres coming up this Sunday night.
Right after the Backlash on Saturday.
We're doing Backlash on Saturday, May 12th to the 14th. We got Cardinals and Red Sox, and then the 23rd to the 25th, Red Sox, White Sox. We got a lot coming up that we're going to be covering. It's going to be a busy weekend for us. But we absolutely love each and every one of you for joining us. And hopefully we can get things cooking for, either Thanksgiving or Christmas, getting Maddie and Dee to go one-on-one once again.
One night only.
One night only. The brothers Iron Man match. The brawl to settle it all.
Now, Suge.
And we have an actual title.
What would you like to plug before we head out?
I would like to plug the most recent episode of the Second Turnbuckle Wrestling podcast. Maddie was a guest of ours, and we were able to sit down and talk for a solid hour and 30 just about WrestleMania, the WWE sale, the World Heavyweight Championship, AEW news, Ring of Honor news, Impact news, just all that good stuff. We have an episode that just came out on Sunday and an episode that's coming out on next Sunday. So you can check that out. We're on Spotify. You can find us on Twitter at OG_STP. You can also find me on Twitter at STP Suge, and all the links will be there.
All right. And Dave popped in here and said, you would be the only gentleman I would turn on the WWE for. Already got marketing set up for it.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
With the Cap as the guest referee.
All right.
And Suge and Dave on commentary.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Other than
all
that,
all funds raised go to #988.
Exactly.
And some for our hospital bills.
That's okay. We can just rub some dirt on it.
Duct tape.
Yeah.
Man's best friend.
All right. Well, Cap, go ahead and start the take home.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the RAWBall podcast. It has been our pleasure to have you watch us. It is our pleasure to entertain you each and every Monday, as well as the weekend streams that we get into occasionally. it is our pleasure to entertain you. We want to thank Dave. We want to thank our good buddy Suge. We want to thank each and every one of you who makes this possible. For my co-hosts, Dev and Maddie, the two deranged brothers from Longmont representing the Briscoe brothers, I have been the captain. Take care. Be safe. Be well. And as Maddie would say, stay happy, stay healthy, stay hydrated. I have been the cap. They have been the ones of ones. Suge has been as awesome as he is always. And we will see you a little further on up the road.
Thank you, everybody.